Greetings and salutations. Let me see, 60 hertz, that's okay. Welcome to another edition of the YouTube channel, Too Many Plugins in Delta X-Ray. I'm your host Alex. Today we're gonna play a little bit more Battlefield 1. And have a little chat. I hope you guys are all okay. Holy moly. Come on, son. Oh my god, I'm medic. Yeah, I forgot that little detail.
Für dich, Kamerad. Erste Hilfe.
That's the end of the round. That's nice, we can start a brand new round. I actually prefer Port de Vaux. Ashibaba I don't really enjoy so much. Am I gonna go as medic or if I'm gonna go as assault? I think I'm gonna go as assault again. Okay, so we have a squad leader that's doing something at least. Go and steal some flocks. Hello, why are you stuck now?
We have taken objective apples.
Let's get going!
Let's capture that objective!
We have taken objective butter. We have taken objective Charlie.
Oh my god. Interesting, that guy. You saw that or not? He was being shot by two other guys and then I shot him and he had still 26% left of his life. Interesting. Yeah. The world is in a tight place right now. I don't even want to talk actually about all of that, what happened. Anybody was following my... I think that was when I was playing Unreal that I mentioned that whole story with Charlie Kirk and the radical left behind it. And of course it turned out to be true, because then it wasn't really known yet. And yeah, then it got all even more complicated, but I'm not gonna bother anybody about it. Want to search it up yourself. what's going on, but yeah, the world is in a really tight place right now. Also with these countries that are now sort of acknowledging, whoa, 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 go, go. That want to all of a sudden recognize the Palestinian state, you know, and yeah, not good. Not good. I think it was the UK and then England and then Portugal and French wanted to recognize the state of Palestine, and then the Italian Muslims, Islamists wanted it also, with a bunch of radical leftists also included. Now you got also huge riots over there. It's a complete mess. And also with all these reactions of the far left, the radical leftists about Charlie Kirk's death, that's also exposed a lot of literally the collective brain rot that is hanging in society with these radical organizations, you know. And they sort of joined hands, you know, and that's even more scary, you know. Now the Italians are angry because Melania, whatever her name is, she doesn't want to recognize Palestine as a state, and therefore. But now, because the other ones did, therefore they want also. So yeah. And that goes for the radical leftists, your liberal lunatics, but that goes also for the radical Islamists. The more you give them, the more they want even afterwards more, you know? If you're gonna pander to them and you're gonna give in to them, if you give them one thing, they're gonna keep on wanting things. They're radical. Radical people always work like that. If you give them a little bit, they want everything, and that's the problem. If you think you're gonna to these people just one time give them what they want, you're really wrong. If you give them one time, they want more, they want more, they want more, they want more. They're never gonna stop. Yeah. Shocking, actually. If you see this collective mentality also on Reddit and on Blue Sky and on Discord and a bunch of services like that, where people just calling literally for each other's death because they don't agree with each other politically, it's absolutely completely mental, you know. But that is what's happening, you know. It's really crazy. Oh my god, man, I'm stuck or something. Jack followed.
We have taken objective Edward.
No, go here to see. Survive, survive, come on. Yeah, it's completely crazy. He's still on the fire. Oh, but he survived. That's nice. So yeah, apparently there are people in this world who apparently they want you dead if you don't agree with their ideology, which is completely crazy, you know. This guy's still alive, man. Oh my god. There's a little bit of latency over there. And this is also the problem, you know, of too long, you know, people, yeah, just, you know, allowing this kind of nonsense and pandering to these loonies, you know. And it's again what I say, you know, these people are radical, and they, you give them one thing and they keep on taking. They want more, they want more. They're never gonna stop. They're not gonna also leave people alone before you 100%, you know, agree with their ideology. And the problem with that is that's just a fucking cult, you know. And if you don't agree with the ideology, they want you dead, you know. And that's just a crazy cult in my opinion, you know.
Objective apples.
Yeah, somebody with a shotgun. That's just a crazy death cult, you know. Yeah, really, really crazy.
We have lost objective Charlie.
Last couple of weeks I listened things coming from the radical left, really, really crazy. And I'm not even gonna bother my viewers with that kind of nonsense, you know. I just give now a small thing, basically a quick description of what's going on, but I'm not even gonna bother people with that because it's rotten to the core, you know.
Slinging grenade! Grenade out!
And it's very tiring to be dealing with this nonsense all the time. And actually, I don't want my channel at all to be about political things, but you know, you listen lately to things that are happening, you know, and it's just very difficult to not sometimes get political in the landscape that we live in today, you know. Yeah. But probably the more you do that, you know, the more you.
All charges.
We have taken
Oh
objective.
my god, man, I had him almost, man. Yeah. Yeah, but it's really frightening, you know, that we have now people like that, you know, in our society, you know. Which basically, like those Antifa people now, they want to also consider a terrorist organization because that's what they are. They are domestic terrorists, you know.
Objective Duff.
Who doesn't understand that, you know, is an idiot, you know.
Explosives ready.
Make sure that he's gone. Oh my god! I was down there. You know, and these are all organizations who are, you know, also infiltrated, and they're all in radical left liberal movements and democratic movements. They're in student organizations, completely, you know, infiltrated, you know. It's just like, you know, fucking hell, you know, what's happening, you know. It's just crazy, you know. They're completely brainwashed. They call anybody who doesn't agree with them Nazis and fascists and stuff, while they are the socialist, fascist lunatics. It's really, really crazy, you know. The world's completely turned upside down, you know. It's really crazy. Really crazy. The radicalization is off the chart, you know. But that's a little bit the result of so many years, you know, how do you call that, moderating platforms, you know. Years ago I was already just amazed if I sometimes listen to kind of crap that's being said, you know, on social networks, you know. It's completely nuts, you know. Oh my god!
We have lost objective Duff.
51 ping. And also on Twitch, where you have individuals like what's his name, Destiny and Hassan, that are that have millions of subscribers who are every day just calling for Republicans and conservative people to be killed, and you know, anybody who's against them should be eradicated. And you know, it's just, you know, because we have let this go on for so long, you know. Now you get this kind of stuff, you know. You cannot be just also like all the time calling the opposition Nazis and fascists, and you're just, especially with newer generation or with people that have a little bit of more, you know, crazy ideology, you know, or are more fragile of the mind, you know. You say these kinds of things and you're just radicalizing everybody, you know. that's a problem also with all these groups. That's people online, and that's also these politicians of the Democrats that are just all the time like, you know, fear mongering, putting fear in young people. You know, all the time calling their opposition the worst things ever. You know, I mean, you know, calling your own president Hitler. You know, it's like kind of crazy. You know, because Hitler was responsible for, what was it, 30 million deaths or something. You know. It's just crazy, you know, that, you know. And that's also, it's not just radicalizing on social networks and it's even just politicians and lawmakers and... Man, did you saw that or not, man? You know, and very prominent public figures who are just all the time radicalizing people at home, you know, and scaring people at home, but also, you know, radicalizing people. It's very, 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 very worrying that, you know. If you call all the time people the worst, you know, you are just dehumanizing them, you know, by calling them Nazis, by calling them all sorts of things like that, you know, by calling them fascist and, you know... That was also exactly what happened in the Second World War, you know. That was precisely those kind of things that they were doing. They're calling each other these kinds of names, you know. And over the time, you know, radicalizing people and dehumanizing them constantly, you know. And when you dehumanize somebody, then everything is justified, you know. Then even murder becomes just, you know, because, well, man, they're Hitler, they're fascists, they are, you know... You're comparing people to one of the worst individuals that ever have lived, you know. It's, you know, real crazy, you know, that. And then they're surprised, you know, that you have people that do, you know, what was being done to Charlie Kirk. They get completely radicalized online and on the television by politicians who are, you know, spreading false information. Dehumanizing people, calling people the most outrageous things ever, you know, and you know, that is, you know, the kind of culture that we live in, you know. And now, thank God, also people got waked up about that, and many people understood now that, hey, look at that, man. Actually, my colleagues, you know, they are completely radicalized, and they celebrate the death of a person who was just. You know, was basically just doing his freedom of speech, you know, you know. And that's where many people waked up, you know. That's where the alarm bells also went about serious, heavy radicalization of these jihadists, you know. And these radical leftist people, you know. Holy moly. No more as well. Ah, it was an anti-tank grenade, okay. So yeah, in this moment we have a lot of people that are Western people that are also totally radicalized on the university, on the television, on social networks.
We have lost objective Charlie.
You have these Antifa groups, you have these pro-Palestine groups, you have these people that are for a long time just walking around, doing whatever they feel like doing, you know. And they're allowed to do it even, and yeah, now people are surprised that we have seriously crazy groups that are all mostly radical left groups, that Antifa, Black Lives Matters, the pro-Palestine movement, you know. It's just crazy, you know. If you think about it, you know what's happening. Yeah, it's really crazy. See what's happening. This was, of course, a huge attack on free speech, you know. When we are glorifying and celebrating the deaths of people who were not even officially politicians. Charlie Kirk was not a politician. He was just a person who went to universities, and his thing was prove me wrong, basically. You went over there, you could talk, you could discuss, you could not agree with him, and you could prove him wrong by discussing him. That was the whole thing of him, you know. And the people who say that he was racist, he wasn't racist at all. That's not true. People who say he was homophobic, also not. He was a Christian. He didn't agree with certain things that obviously meant that many other peoples of other religions don't agree with also. He doesn't agree in transgenderism or something like that. But then he doesn't cancel them out. He says he loves them and he respects them the way they are. But you know, is that, you know? Is that? But it have actually really, like, in a heavy way, you know, took away the camouflage of these radical people, you know. Their reactions was what really worried most people, you know, of how far they are radicalized. That they are literally a death cult who celebrate the deaths of people that just don't agree with them. I mean, you're not even that you don't like your own country anymore, and you're actually, you know, against your own country. No, you're even against your own people. You know, and when people that, because of their just verbal political discourse, are being killed and it's being celebrated, then we are really in trouble, you know. We are really in trouble.
We have
A lot of love in the chat today. And they were even calling even for the deaths of more people. It was really, really crazy. Really crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Oh my god. Yeah, there's people here with SMGs, but you cannot go with SMGs, guys. Oh yeah. We got to a really, really crazy place, man. Oh my god. Yeah, really crazy stuff.
We have lost objective Charlie.
So, and I'm, by the way, for, you know, I'm for free speech, you know, but I'm not for... What many people don't understand, you know, free speech doesn't protect you for getting fired. It doesn't protect you for being cancelled by your friends when you are in free speech saying you celebrate, you know, the death of Charlie Kirk, for example, you know. But free speech doesn't protect you for celebrating, or like they were doing, even calling for the death of even more people and more violence. You know, free speech is not protects that, you know. My god, man, I wasn't expecting these guys all of a sudden over here. You know, some people understand that a little bit wrong, you know. They think that you can say whatever you want. No, you cannot, you know. You cannot call for violence, incentivate violence, glorify violence, call other people for violence. You cannot do that, you know. Celebrating political violence, that's not protected by free speech, you know. Incentivating for violence or for riots, you know. All these kinds of things, you know, that's not protected under free speech, you know. The same as defamation of character, you know. You're also not allowed to completely say whatever you want about somebody and completely destroy the reputation of an individual, you know. It's again, free speech doesn't protect that, you know. You cannot be just saying or excusing a person of things they haven't done, you know, and completely destroy their character. Therefore, defamation of character, you know. Defamation is also a thing is not protected by free speech, you know. Oh yeah, how many lawsuits were there lately of defamation of character? These people think that you can just... Oh my god. People just think that today you can say whatever you want or something. Well, it's not like that, you know.
We have taken objective Edward.
It's grenades for them! 6 grenades there! Grenade out, watch it!
Fuck out of here, man.
We have taken objective
Yeah, people just think that, you know, that you can say whatever, you know, but you cannot, you know. And that's the problem, you know. And all these lefties, what they did was... oh, this guy's already dead, man. I thought he was still alive. They just think that you can do whatever, you know. Also, there were tens of thousands of people worldwide fired because they were celebrating the deaths and incentivizing for more violence and stuff, you know. And then they get surprised, they get fired. And then they say, but it's freedom of speech. No, not freedom of speech. Your boss can fire you if you say crazy stuff, you know, that can damage the company or the reputation, or it can damage the brand, you know. It's the way that works, you know. Make sure that nobody fucks me over here. Come on, man.
We have taken
Monoloco, come on. Yeah, but some people just think that or something, that you can just say whatever you want. It doesn't work like that, you know. Yeah, they got fired. Would you like to have somebody working in your place who incentivizes violence against their political opponents or against the people who don't agree with them? I mean, no, man. Or celebrate the murder of somebody, you know, because of his speech. I mean, who wants a person like that working in his company? Nobody wants that.
We have lost objective Dark.
Nobody wants to have people like that, you know, that are prepared to kill you if you don't agree with them. No, thank you very much. And now Trump, of course, declared Antifa, which they should have done a long time ago, you know, and Black Lives Matter. There were those nice folks who were in 2020 and 2021 in the so-called Summer of Love, basically harassing people, looting and plundering and stealing and burning cities down in the United States because of that one guy that died in police custody that turned out to be later fentanyl overdose. But there you go. It's those nice folks. Yeah, Antifa now, BLM probably is going to be also, you know, they're now considered a terrorist organization, and they are. And they're not even a national terrorist organization. They're international because they're being funded by other countries. So there you go. Those nice folks also walk around on universities with the pro-Palestinian shit. Anyway. They're fighting the so-called fascists or something. Well, most of them don't even know what a fascist is. And they call people Nazis and fascists, but they don't understand that they have a socialist ideology, the radical leftists, you know, aka disguised as it's actually communism disguised as socialism. But for most people who don't know it, the Nazi Party were National Socialists. So there you go. That's what the word Nazi means, you know. National Socialism, Nazism. That's what it means. And these people are so brainwashed and so stupid and so unaware of history that they don't even know what they are fighting and who they are and what are they so-called. What is their cause? Because they are. They are fighting a cause, but they are actually the cause of it. They are the ones responsible for it. They behave like that, and they don't even realize it. So in one way or the other, they're actually even fighting themselves or something. Because they are the fascists, they are the Nazis. It's really crazy. Yeah. Really crazy stuff.
We have taken objective Charlie.
And all these movements, they all start about feelings. It's all about groups who are then repressed and that they need a lot of attention. Look to the attention that they give to the gays all of a sudden. Look the attention they give to the black people and to the LGBTQ and the transgender groups of people and the migrants. Why? Because all these crazy death cults, they need groups of people who are repressed, and that is actually their weapon, their mechanism. If they ever repress people, then they can create a whole following. Then they can radicalize that following and then use them for their cause. And that's literally what's happening. And these people are so brainwashed and so stupid they don't even understand that. Yeah. I actually saw a mouse. Yeah, really crazy stuff. There you go, son. Yeah, it's really crazy stuff. These people are really completely brainwashed, radicalized. Really crazy. They don't even understand.
We have taken objective butter.
Oh, he's over there on the back. Yeah. That's really a problem because they have a huge following, you know. They have done their work really well by indoctrinating and brainwashing lots of young people in universities who now walk around. You know, this also, by the way, I saw the other day, I saw something really interesting. This was a guy. He was a... who was it? He was a profiler and a criminal psychologist, and he was saying this, and it's really interesting, you know. He was saying, why do radical people, especially the radical left people, but even other radical people and anarchy people, but especially radical people, why are they always wearing very bright colors in their hair and in their clothes? And he was saying, you know why is that? It's to warn the other animals of their toxicity, you know. And that's actually really, really true, you know. most people who wear these kinds of collars are actually many times very toxic, very explosive, very victim and very, how do you call that, bitter and angry. And yeah, I think that is a good comparison also if you look to animals who have very bright collars and then they have a deadly bite, you know, a poisonous bite, you know. And I think he makes a really good point over there. That's what he was saying. And that's also, it's literally just also a way of showing the way you are in personality. Yeah, very, very interesting, that. We have for too long given into these people. We have allowed them, and we have let them just, yeah, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, you know. And now we came to a situation, you know, where it's again what I'm saying. If you you cannot negotiate with terrorists, you cannot be giving these people, these radical people, one time. If you give them what they want, they will not stop. Oh my God. Yeah, if you one time give them, they keep on coming, you know. They want everything. And that's what you see. You see that happening with everything. It's even like a couple of months ago, there was already some censorship starting. And then some companies gave into it. And now these organizations that were demanding the first censorship are now already asking for way more censorship for other things. So there you can see also, you know, if you give in to these people, they want more and more and more. They really do. Oh my God.
We have lost objective butter.
Oh, fuck's sake. And that's what we have done too long. We have given in to people, and we have for too long time we have let people speak and agreed with things that are actually completely ludicrous. And now we came to a situation where, yeah, how can you say that? The inmates are running the mental asylum. It's the crazy people who are running the mental asylum, not the doctors and the psychiatrists anymore. We have, for such a long time, we have allowed people to convince us of the most ridiculous stuff. Like things that even defy biology, you know. That a man is actually not a man and a woman is actually not a woman, and all this kind of ludicrousy, you know. I walked in my... Oh, it was an incendiary grenade even that killed me. Otherwise it would have been my own grenade. You know, yeah, that's what we have done for too long time, you know. We have given people a bullhorn, a soapbox to stand on, and we have given them airtime, and we have agreed with them, yes, you're right, yes, yes. While you actually inside of yourself think this is ludicrous, but yes, you're right, and I don't want to offend you, and I don't want to be called a Nazi or a bigot or a homophobe or something like that, you know. And because we have done that for such a long time, you know. And yes, you are a woman when you see it's literally just a man in a woman's clothes, you know. And all these kinds of things together, you know, and also the cancel culture that also came with COVID, you know, have created a very toxic environment where now, you know, we have basically, it's what I keep on saying, we have the inmates that are running the mental asylum. We really do. We really do. Get the hell out of here, dude. What are you doing? Where was he?
We are losing objective apples.
You fuck's sake. Oh, I was even killed by him on top of that. Ah, okay, it was not even him who killed me. Very distracted today. Oh, there he was. Mr. Shotgun. Yeah, and in governments, in schools, in everywhere, it's also that kind of thing, you know, you know, in the 80s, politics and those kind of things, and religion, they were forbidden in companies, you know. But today, we have a bunch of lunatic people work in companies and work in places, you know. And they, yeah, man, they just take politics to the working place, you know, which is completely ludicrous. Oh my god, man, my dynamite didn't even explode.
Objective Charlie.
And that's the problem. We have now, literally in a lot of places, we have just radical people working in places. And it wouldn't be even a problem if they would be working in their places, and would just do their job and not be political. But we came to a sort of a moment in history where it is allowed to take your politics to the working place, or to the education system, or to, you know, to anywhere, you know. They're just injecting politics in it, you know, and even using things as mechanisms to brainwash and indoctrinate people, you know. And I think it's one of the biggest problems ever made, you know, of taking politics to work is fucking nuts, man. Who does that, man?
We are losing objective butter.
And activism, you know. You listen, school teachers, they are teaching in a way to children today, school. This is not teaching school, this is doing activism. You're a school teacher, you're not there to, you know, what the fuck is wrong over there, you know. It's really like that, man. It's just school teachers who are...
We have lost objective butter.
I gotcha. Oh god. You know, it's crazy, you know, that, you know. People are in their corporate Facebook accounts making all sorts of political or religious statements, you know. Just think about that, you know. It's nuts, you know.
We have taken objective butter.
You know, people from their corporate emails and their corporate accounts, they are saying all sorts of political things, or they are ridiculing, you know, Charlie Kirk's death and celebrating it, you know. It's just completely crazy, oh my god. And then they get surprised, they get fired, you know. And then they say, freedom of speech. Yeah.
We have taken objective apples.
Taking ages, this map. This match. Yeah. And then what I mean with that also to say is that these people have created really a complete toxic work environment because of DEI. They started only hiring people who think the same as they do,
Objective butter.
who act the same, you know, and that's the problem, you know. When you create a whole environment where everybody thinks and acts the same as you do, you know. They think the same, they act the same, they talk the same, they have the same ideology, they're from the same race. What do you get? You get one huge echo chamber you get over there, you know. And these people are just working in an environment where basically everybody is hired because they think the same, they act the same, they believe in the same thing. So they're only listening to each other's echoes, each other's voices all day, repeating what they believe in themselves, basically. And that's the problem, you know. And if you are in an environment like that every day, yeah, then you get then even more radicalized. Everybody is just around you is echoing the same thing that you think. Everybody thinks the same. Everybody believes in the same thing. Everybody confirms each other's beliefs and ideologies every day. What is that? That's a cult or something. That's some crazy cult, you know that. But unfortunately, they have created that even by hiring people from the same race, from the same ideology, with the same sexual orientation, with the same, you know, political orientation, with the same belief system, you know. In the name of diversity. Oh my God. Yeah, and that's what you get then, you know, huge echo chambers, you know, of everybody, you know, first of all, smelling and liking each other's farts, you know, and then, you know, I mean, think about that, you know, the craziness that you are creating like that, you know.
We are losing objective Duff.
Bitch.
We have lost objective Charlie.
Gotcha. Yeah.
We have taken objective Edward.
And that's also, by the way, caused by that internet culture where everybody cancels each other out when they don't agree with each other, you know. And, you know, that whole culture have also created that, you know, that online culture. Like, you have to agree with me because otherwise, you know.
We have taken objective Butter.
And the internet does that also, you know. It's all cancel culture, you know. And cancel culture creates, again, these kinds of echo chambers. Because if you don't agree with them, they will cancel you out of the group. Therefore, everybody agrees with each other. Therefore, what we have is one big echo chamber and group of people who all smell each other's farts and say that it smells lovely. And, you know, internet is, again, some time ago I talked about that also, fragmented into all sorts of little subcultures where, you know, what I also sometimes say, the Linux community, the gaming community. I strongly disagree with that statement. There is no such thing as a gaming community. There's no such thing as a Linux community. That's all a bunch of horse shit. The communities they call about are all little individual groups that fragmented into all little subcultures. They all think different, they all act different, they all hate each other's guts. They're all little individual groups, they're all in an echo chamber, and they all hate each other, and they all think different. So that whole thing of looking like to the gaming, you know, community or the Linux community or even like the Xbox community as like a sort of one collective organism or organization that all think the same and act the same and are aligned with each other is complete nonsense, complete bullshit. That. It's very opposite. Everybody is in their own little echo chamber and they are all very, very, very not aligned with each other at all. They pretend they do, but they don't. They actually hate each other's guts.
We have lost objective Butter.
So there you go. Wrong button. And we know that these NGOs and USAID and George Soros are all funding and financing these radical groups of people. Now that Trump made them illegal, made Antifa a terrorist organization, now they can finally also go behind the big corporations and individuals and even government who are financing these groups to do all these Antifa and pro-Palestine, pro-migration demonstrations and anti-ICE demonstrations, etc. You know, you can only do that once these groups are classified as terrorist organizations, and you can start prosecuting the people who fund them, because then you're funding a terrorist organization, and then all of a sudden you can be prosecuted, you know. So you understand the mechanism over here. Yeah.
Return to the combat area.
Anybody who looks to the last couple of years to the news, what's happening, you know, you need to admit something strange is going on, you know. When you have so many of these groups of people all of a sudden, you know, doing all these crazy demonstrations, and even that thing when putting the Teslas on fire, and oh my god, man, it's just complete ludicrousy, you know. And all these riots that you saw of them, you know. And everything you listen to the news, it's all...
Flame trooper clearance available near
It's all the rioters, you know. It's all a radical left anti-fascist, or however they want to call themselves, which is a completely ridiculous statement, that the Antifa anti-fascist nonsense, you know. You know, this is ridiculous if you think about it. If you know really what fascism is and what these people are doing, it's fucking ridiculous, you know. But there you go, you know. Anyway. You can see yourself, you know, how fucked up all of this is, you know. And you can understand that there's big organizations and big people who are organizing and incentivizing and paying for these huge riots, you know. These people are paid, you know. Everybody knows that, you know. George Soros and the World Economic Forums and stuff, they're all highly injecting money in these social unrest and dividing tactics, where they are trying to divide the population, you know. Again, also into all little, you know, by divide and conquer, so that everybody is in a little subculture hating each other's guts. You know, that's basically what they are on purpose provocating, causing. To divide and conquer, you know. Push first the population, everybody against each other, then you can very quickly take over a country, you know. If several groups within the population hate each other's guts, you know, then they can't organize themselves anymore, you know. Because they all hate each other's guts.
We have lost objective Duff.
And that's precisely what they are doing, you know.
We have taken objective Butter. We have lost objective Charlie.
Holy moly. Almost the end of the round.
We have lost objective Edward.
I hope there's only no more bloodshed, you know. And that these people really start downgrading their rhetoric, with all the time calling their opposition the most horrible thing ever. Because by doing that, they're really radicalizing a lot of people that are already a little bit radicalized. They get even more radicalized. And, you know, also emotionally unstable people. And, you know, it's just a bad idea what they are doing. You know? It's really a bad idea. They need to tone down their rhetoric. How did he survive that? For fuck's sake. Yeah, that's the result of all of this, you know.
Attention! Grenade! Grenade lancée! Attention! Lance une grenade!
We have taken objective Edward.
Yeah, some people need to be even deplatformed. Fuck's sake. Like these people are deliberately radicalizing people on Twitch and on YouTube, you know, like that Hassan and that Destiny and there are a bunch of other ones, you know.
We are losing.
Literally just radicalizing people. It's really crazy. And they're such a loving people, these liberals, man. It's incredible. But they're radicalizing, they're calling hate. They're completely nuts. And they call themselves the tolerance and...
We have lost objective Edward.
Yeah, it's really crazy. We're losing it already. And also those really important people also, you know, when they go on the television, you know, they need to start really talking different. I talk about really known politicians who are all the time having this crazy rhetoric, you know. And radicalizing people with that. Yeah, there need to come some more moderation on the internet also for these groups of people, like on Reddit and on Twitch and on, you know, Discord and all those kind of things, you know, and even Facebook and Instagram, you know, where people really are crazy, radicalizing each other and just saying things that are not healthy. They're not good. They are creating a very hostile and toxic environment in our society. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna love you and leave you. I hope you guys enjoyed that. This was a little bit Battlefield 1 on a Monday night, just having a little easy game and a chat. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you very much for watching and listening. As always, stay safe, take care, and I will catch you in the next video. Cheers and beers.